So one of the things that people always find fascinating about my story is that I grew up in a cult. And it's unusual because most people don't have that experience. And yet it's not all that unusual because to some degree we all have experiences with mild cults or cult-like institutions, cult-like experiences, perhaps things that we've gotten involved with that are slightly like a cult. Um, Even the word culture is kind of forming around and I think it's Russell Brunson that spins off of the term culture for business and creating a culture in order to create a following for business. And here's the thing. So having grown up in a cult, one of the main things is that there is this insular kind of thing that happens where you become part of the community. You are pulled in by the acceptance, by the love, by these people who, make you part of their tribe. And you have language and you have beliefs that, is only within your tribe. So when you go outside and you meet with people that don't have those same beliefs and those same ideas, then it feels safer to come back to your group because you're all speaking the same language and you're all, have the same mindset and belief. So that kind of thing creates this very tight knit where people don't want to leave. And in fact, they want to stay because they feel safe. They feel comforted. They feel like they're accepted. And that, that mindset, that hive mentality where it's like insulated is part of what people are trying to create in businesses and tribes. And they're trying to create this situation where, people feel drawn to be part of it because they feel part of the community. Being part of a community is one of our base needs. It is a base requirement for us as human beings, and yet at the same time to not be sucked into scams and these control type situations, we also need to not belong, to be okay to not belong, to actually get to this place where I belong to no one and nothing, and therefore I belong to everything. Maya Angelou was the first one that kind of really spoke out about this concept of that when you belong nowhere, you belong everywhere, which is a really big piece of what I love helping people to do, is dropping into this space of letting go of needing to belong anywhere, needing, sorry, I got itchy nose, needing to really connect. Because when we don't need that in our lives, when we don't need other people, but we choose to be with them, then we always have the sense of power of whether we are going to continue or not. We're not stuck. And being in choice is the piece of being in our power. So take a look at where you are, what systems you are involved in, what groups you're involved in, and how much do you feel you have control? How much do you feel you have choice? Maybe not control. Control is maybe not the right word, but how much do you feel you have choice to leave that system and structure? How much do you feel, that you're getting from it versus how much you think that you need it, right? I've seen people stay in networking organizations that are doing nothing for them, and yet because of that sense of needing to belong, wanting to belong, they stay there long past the time that it is actually serving them in any way, shape, or form. I see people stay in coaching programs and with coaches because of this desire and need to belong and to have that connection. And yet when we can, start to pull it apart, and that's the deeper work that I like doing, but when we start actually pulling that apart, then you have way more choices available and you get to do what works for you. You get to pull the little nuggets out from all the programs instead of having to follow any one particular rigid structure or system. So that is my little piece for today about how a cult can actually help you with your business. So yes, you do want to create a culture to create people that like to stay and want to follow, but I would love for you to do it in a way that empowers them to also feel like they have choice, because you have choice. I'm Dana Ferrand, and this is your Badass business coaching moment through the live, complete with fuck ups. Yeah, so stay tuned, subscribe, get some more nuggets. Let me know if there are topics that you have questions about, or things that I can go deeper on. Would love to hear it. Post a comment, hit the subscribe. See you later.